Hello, good morning everyone. Students of the Dagupan City National High School, especially to Accountancy, Business, and Management strand. We are now on the first semester of 2020-2021. And in the new normal of learning, we have modular or ML for the Dagupan City National High School, Senior High School, and supplemented by this OBS video. I hope you enjoy our learning and the journey of studying your subjects in the different modality. Welcome to the new normal. I am Miss Pina Cochanco, your teacher, your guide, your facilitator in Principles of Marketing. Yes, you can contact me if you would have further clarifications or questions in my FB with username Guru Pina. Do not hesitate to contact me, my dear students. And please remember that don't forget to answer the pretest before listening to this lecture. Also, do not forget to take down notes during watching this video. What is week 1 of quarter 1 topic? The topic would be marketing and its goal. Let us start. We have two objectives for this week. First is to define and understand marketing. Second, discuss the goals of marketing. Let us start. Marketing has several definitions, but let us consider the definitions coming from American Marketing Association and that of Philippine Marketing Association. What is marketing according to American Marketing Association? It is the activity, set of institutions and processes for creating, communicating, delivering, and exchanging offerings that have value for customers, clients, partners, and society at large. Meaning that it's not per se the newspaper ads, the television commercials, the flyers that the agent would give to you. It's the entire set of institutions, the processes, the 4 P's of marketing mixed, and with the intention to create awareness, to communicate offerings that have value not only for customers, but of course their suppliers or partners and the society as a whole. Further, we have another definition from Philippine Marketing Association. For them, marketing as a science and a profession is guided by the universal principles of ethics, corporate citizenship, and corporate social responsibility. I remember a few years back that there were several billboards taken off from the places where they were posted. Why were they taken off? Companies are not only going to promote their product with intention of selling profits or selling products, increasing their profits. It has to be that they are morally and socially responsible. If a certain commercial or billboard ad did not pass the Ad Standard Council in the Philippines, based on their criteria, of course they're going to be taken off. Companies with their marketing efforts should again be following principles of ethics and should be socially responsible. Now let's go to the goals of marketing. The first goal of marketing is to understand the market and its consumers and satisfy their changing needs and wants. We would notice that companies does not anymore just produce products and sell them. They actually listen to the feedbacks, to the voices, to what the consumers wanted them to produce so that it could respond specifically to the needs and wants of their target market. Second goal of marketing: introduce and innovate products and services that improve human condition and the quality of life. Back then, during the time of our grandfather, we don't see this, right? We don't have mobile phones yet. Of course, they have enjoyed the rotary phone that they can call their friends and family members far from them. But now, since the introduction of this mobile phone, we already have our phone where we can call our friends, family. We already have the camera for selfie and for shooting, pictures that will serve as your memory. This is also your journal, and sometimes you do processes or things that you can do in your laptop. It is already in this small device. We don't go further. As well, in biomedical engineering, there are countless innovations so that operations and medical procedures would be less invasive. Of course, we have bloodless surgery, and where we have colonoscopy, endoscopy, that were enhanced and were less invasive. And this bring about better experiences for patients. Let's go now to the third goal of marketing: design and implement effective customer-driven marketing strategies. What do we mean by effective customer-driven marketing strategies? If a certain company has a product that specifically caters to the needs of the senior citizens, of course, it is expected that their promotions, their sales, advertising would be found with or in television and radio, or perhaps newspaper, and less on social media. Though there are senior citizens who are already very much adept with technology, but what is more accessible for them that they can check and be able to have information regarding the product created for them would be from television and newspapers and radio, of course, because that is where they obtain general information about life, about what is happening in the world. So that companies will therefore place their resources with that different media or medium rather. Let's go now to the next goal of marketing, is to develop marketing programs that deliver superior value to consumers. And next, to build and maintain mutually beneficial and profitable customer relationships. Companies today or at present does not only make use or implement what we call marketing approach. There are companies that had gone beyond. They did more. They create superior value, and they're able to maintain profitable customer relationships. We have what we call the relationship marketing, where data-based of how did you use the product, when did you purchase the product, how much have you spent for the product were kept. And at the same time, the companies are in constant contact, and they tell you of the new things about the product that you're using. They tell you that there would be new innovation, new packaging, and that is another one goal of marketing, to build and maintain mutually beneficial customer relationships. Because when you get repeated purchase from your loyal customers and referrals as well, it means kaching profits. And at the same time, you also give them their needs and wants. So it's mutually beneficial. Next goal of marketing, to capture customer value to create profits, as mentioned in other goals. Last, promote value transactions with full regard to the well-being of societies. It will be discussed next meeting, the approaches or contemporary approaches to marketing, and one of these approach would be societal marketing. What do we mean by regarding transactions that regards the well-being of societies? Companies does not only exist to create products, eventually giving them more profits. They are now becoming more than ever socially responsible with respect to the environmental degradation, to the health of the people. You would notice that there are more and more products that are healthy, organic, and are packaged in sustainable packaging, right? So this would be the different goals of marketing. Now let us go to the marketing process. What is the marketing process all about? What are the steps? So, first step is to understand or analyze the situation. For a company, they are affected or are surrounded by their microenvironment. What is their microenvironment? This would be their employees, their suppliers, their intermediaries or distributors or agents. These are their microenvironment. They needed to consider the relationship, how the production, and how well employees are able to produce products which can satisfy the needs and wants of the consumer or customers of the company. We also have the microenvironment to consider or to analyze, and that would be the political system, the economic system, social system, technology, legal mandates, and the environment. This will be further tackled on next topics. So we have micro and macro environment. Another would be the 2 C's that should be analyzed. Who are your customers? What do they want? When do they want the product? How frequent do they have change in their taste and demand? Another thing that should be analyzed by companies for their marketing process would be their competitors. Competitors that they don't just necessarily react to the competitor's action, but rather to respond and focus not only on competition but their customers. Now, it's very, very important for companies to have superiority or what we call competitive advantage over their competitors. And another thing that should be considered in situation analysis, which is the first step in the marketing process, is the SWOT or the strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And the next step in the marketing process is the formulation of marketing strategy. What are the factors that should be considered? Would be market segmentation. What are different groups of people who would buy their product? You could consider geographic segmentation, psychographic segmentation, and other things with respect to market segmentation. Another is to select their target market, millennials, travelers, then value proposition and product positioning. Next step in the marketing process, the marketing mix decisions. We have the 4 P's of marketing. First, the product. Second, price. Then place, and then promotion. And finally, the last step for the marketing process is the implementation and control. So it's not only that they're going to end with implementation, but there's a need to monitor how the marketing strategies or marketing efforts of the company is faring. How is it? And there should be evaluation, and if there's a need to adjust, then there will be marketing mix adjustment. So that's the marketing process. 1. step or first step, situation analysis. Second, marketing strategy formulation. Third, marketing mixed decisions. And lastly, implementation and control. When you are asked what market is, you would think there are several ways to define market. And the first thing that comes to the mind of people or person would be the number one definition of market. That is, it is a place where products and services becomes available. However, there are other definitions of what market is. Another is number 2. Market or your target market. Who are your target market? Who are those people who would be your potential buyers? A target market is a set of actual and potential buyers of a product who have a common need or want that can be satisfied through exchange. Number 3, market is also an act of selling or promoting products of goods and service. So, there are several definitions of what market is. And these are used throughout our study of marketing. Now let's go to what is a product. What is a product? It's anything that is tangible, you can touch, you can feel. And it has the following levels. Let us see, for example, this wristwatch. What does this wristwatch do? It tells you time. Back then we have digital, so it tells you time. That's the core or generic level. Then we have augmented. They're able to give you different straps. And then the last would be formal level, where there is what we call, there are smart watches nowadays that tells you your blood pressure, to monitor your heart rate and how fast you run and other things. So they are enhanced at different levels. If there's the maximum enhancement, then it's called formal level of product. So we have different classification of products. First, according to use. So we have consumer versus industrial goods. What are consumer goods? Consumer goods are those that we would use as individuals, while industrial goods are goods used to produce other goods. Of course, right? So machines are industrial goods. Equipment for processing of a certain product, or for you to be able to give the service, then these are industrial goods. Now, another classification of products would be according to differentiation. So your favorite bag, you have different brands, right? You have Michael Kors, Secosana, Guess. These are products that are differentiated. While on the other hand, rice and agricultural products are undifferentiated, or t-shirts that are generic. According to durability, the product can be consumable, semi-durable, or durable. Now, the last classification of product would be according to type. We have convenience, shopping, specialty, and unsoft. What are convenience product? This is a convenient product. You can buy, in your sari-sari store, in your grocery. These are the things that you usually buy every day, or these are common products. And of course, we have shopping products, just like this, or your bag, your clothing, your wallet. These are shopping products. We have specialty products, like, when families decide on what car to own, they take time in deciding what car to own. These are specialty products. We also have unsoft products. What are unsoft? These are usually we need them, but that would be at a later time, or something that you really don't seek, but you need it. So for example, would be memorial plans. Okay? St. Peter, for example. Now, so products are tangible. How about service? What are the attributes of a service? They are more difficult to sell, for companies that offer service, because first, they are intangible. What do we mean by intangibility? When you needed the service of a massage therapist or a lawyer, of course, this cannot be, it's something that you cannot have a sample. You needed to pay or give payment to the service first. There's no trying or sampling like your favorite biscuit. You can try it, you can sample it, you can have one piece first before buying the whole package. But for a service, it's intangible. Another, it's variability. A teacher, although teaching the same subject for several years already, will not have the same, lecture, or the way he or she delivers the lecture. Same as true with the massage therapies. It can be variable. Their service vary every time. It's not 100% the same every time. Inseparability is another attribute of service. What do we mean by inseparability? Inseparability means that unlike the product produced, the producer or the maker doesn't need to be there for you to enjoy the product. For a service, they have to be there. Just like, of course, the massage. These are massage therapies has to be there for you to enjoy your spa massage experience, right? So that's inseparability, attributes of service. Another is perishability. What do we mean by perishability as an attribute of service? Perishability means that when the service of an airline, a specific flight would be 400 passengers, but only 50 was sold, then they can no longer sell the remaining number left as long as, or if the flight has already taken off. So that's perishability. Now, let us see the differentiation, or what's the difference first with the term needs versus wants. Everyone's familiar with your needs. We have our need. I have my need. My friends have need. My father have needs. So we have our basic needs. These are necessity in our living or on how we do with life, like food, shelter, clothing. But necessity is variable, or it's different for every person. A car, for me, for example, might be a need or can be a want. It depends on how you use it. While if we say want, these are not necessity, but you have the desire to buy. For example, you have your phone. I'm okay with 32 gig phone, but others wanted 256 gigabyte of memory for a phone. That is their want. But if you are someone who's constantly working with your phone, then the 256 gigabyte of memory becomes a need instead of a want. So again, the product or service being a need or want is dependent on the person. So let us differentiate now also consumers versus customers. If you have purchased a gift for your sister, brother, or friend, then you are a customer. If a customer, they are the ones who purchase the product, but does not necessarily mean that they will use the product. But at some point, majority of those who purchase the product, who are customers, are also eventually turning as consumers. So what are consumers? Consumers are those that actually avail the service of the product. So that's the main difference between what consumers and customers are. 3 words again in marketing. What is customer value? What is customer value? when I purchased this wristwatch, of course, there's the value of me buying, owning, and using the product. What's the difference with the value of buying the product to that of the real cost of this wristwatch? I purchased it for 3,500. It normally retails 5,000 or 7,000 depending on the store or shop, no? So for a customer, she or she would find product valuable if, for example, that he purchased it at a much higher price. There's an expectation that the product would last longer and would give him more value, right? So that's customer value. Next concept in marketing is customer satisfaction. What do we expect? What are our expectation of a product? If you purchase your favorite sneakers, either you are expecting it to be aesthetically beautiful or comfortable for your feet. So what is customer satisfaction? It is the difference between the expected or expectations of the consumer or customer to that of the actual or the perceived performance of the product. So if you are expecting the product to be, or your shoes to be, for example, very comfortable, and you end up having, bruise or wound in your feet, or you suffered from wounds in your feet because it's very ill-fitting, then you are not satisfied because you're expecting it to be comfortable and it end up to be uncomfortable for your feet. That's customer satisfaction. And you would say, this is not a good purchase. There's that cognitive dissonance, that regret, because your expectation and the perceived performance did not equal or did not meet. Now, the last concept for this lesson, last concept in marketing, is quality. What is quality? So quality is the totality of the features and characteristic of a product, relating it to the implied or stated needs of the customer. I would say, for example, that a product is of quality if it satisfied me, right? So these three concepts, customer value, customer satisfaction, and quality, are interrelated. Thank you. So our lecture is finished for week 2 of quarter 1, and I hope to see you again in our class. And as I have said earlier, you can contact me in Facebook, and we also have our online kamustahan depending on the schedule set. And be safe, everyone. Thank you for listening. Focus on your activity sheets or your modules, and happy learning. Good day, everyone.